Today we'll start year structure and function. Before we start year structure and function, I'll say about some eye diseases. We have already seen about color blindness. Color blindness is when an individual cannot identify one or two colors. That is called as color blindness. Night blindness, this is because of cones deficiency. Night blindness is when a person is not able to see night time during dim light vision. Okay. Other diseases like myopia. Myopia is nearsightedness. Nearsightedness. Generally, in the eye, when the light passes through the lens, it should fall on retina. But the image, if the focus of light is here, that means if this is the person and all parts, I'm not drawing all the parts. When the light falls on the retina like this, we can see that object. But if the image is forming somewhere because of any error inside the lens, if the image is falling here, then we need to use some lenses. This condition is called as myopia, nearsightedness. Nearsighted means near objects are visible. Near objects are visible. Objects which are far away are not visible. Far away objects are not visible. Okay. Like another condition is there that is called as hypermetropia. Hypermetropia is a condition in which the image is forming somewhere behind the retina screen, like this. Then also we can't see. This is called as far-sightedness. As the name itself is saying, far-sightedness means far objects are visible, near objects are not visible. Near objects are not visible. So these two defects can be solved by using any lens, specs with some lens in specs, or even the eye lenses can be changed. Contact lenses can be used. Okay. Another condition is there that is called as cataract. Cataract is a condition in which eye lens becomes opaque. Opaque due to some damage. Eye lens tissue is damaged, and because of this damage, lens is not clear, instead it became opaque. At that time, cataracts, thus eye lens will be removed and replaced. Replacing eye lens will be enough. Okay, thus opaque substance in front of that lens will be removed, or it will be replaced with eye lens. Okay, next, glaucoma. Glaucoma is loss of peripheral vision. Loss of peripheral vision. Peripheral vision. Peripheral vision means whatever. See, though that thing which is in front of you is clear, but you can see at least blurred image of what is around. If you are able to see what is in front of you clearly, at least you'll understand that there is some person standing in this place. There is some table or bench in this place. That is all not felt by person who are affected with glaucoma. They cannot see all those surroundings. They can see only on which they are concentrating. If they have to see, they have to turn their heads and they have to see. They will not be able to. They will not have that circular vision, peripheral vision will not be. Okay. Next condition is called as xerophthalmia. Xerophthalmia means dryness in eyes. Why dry eyes? No tears are produced. Okay, because of less tears, eyes become very dry. They start burning sensation, and as a result of burning sensation, again we get tears. Okay, that is a kind of defect in lacrimal glands, and artificial tears are available to replace the natural tears in the form of eye drops. So these are some of the eye diseases. To protect our eyes, we need to clean our eyes. When we are bathing, we need to clean our eyes, whatever, if there is any deposits found like that. And when you're driving and when you're on any journey like that, you need to use something to protect your eyes and take proper rest, eat good nutrients which are rich in vitamin A. All these things can be done to take care of good eyesight. Okay. So with this, we have completed eye diseases. Children will go to the structure of ear. Ear is composed, structure of ear. Ear is composed of three parts: external ear, middle ear, and inner ear. External ear, that which is visible from outside, which includes ear pinna and ear canal, eardrum. Ear pinna is outside trumpet shaped structure which connects through ear canal. Ear canal. Ear pinna is also called as external ear. There is other name for ear pinna. Okay, I'll say you later. Ear canal is also called as auditory meatus. Auditory meatus or auditory canal or auditory canal. Ear pinna is also called as tympanum. Tympanum. Okay. Inside this ear canal, there are so many hair-like structure which prevents any dust particles that enters ear. And there are wax glands called ceruminous glands. Ceruminous glands as well as sebaceous glands. Ceruminous glands secrete wax, sebaceous glands secrete oil. Okay, so sorry, children. Okay, this is ear pinna or tympanum. This is ear canal. It has hair-like structure. To prevent the entry of dust particles, ear canal is also called as auditory meatus, auditory canal. And inside the ear canal, there are wax-producing ceruminous glands and oil-producing sebaceous glands. At the end of this ear canal, there is cone-shaped structure called eardrum. Or so sorry, this is not tympanum. Eardrum is called as tympanum. Sorry to confuse you, children. Eardrum is called as tympanum. Ear pinna is not called as tympanum. Eardrum is called as tympanum. If you see from sideways, it's a conical structure. But if you see from front, it is a drum-like structure, and this is the last part of it is a small membrane. Okay, tympanum is a membrane, so it is also called as tympanic membrane. With this, external ear will complete. Middle ear is a very small portion. It consists of only three small bones: hammer, anvil, stirrup. Okay. So middle ear is composed of one bone like this. This is called as hammer. Second bone is like this. This is called as anvil. And third bone is like this. This is called as stirrup. Or this hammer is also called as malus. This is also called as incus or anvil. This is called as stapes or stirrup. Hammer, anvil, stirrup or malus, incus, stapes. That's all. Inner ear consists. Oh, so sorry, children. I should have marked the boundaries. So this bone from here to here is called as hammer. This one, and this one is called as hammer or malus. From here to here, this one is called as incus. And from here to this is called as stapes or stirrup. Two names for each bone. Malus, incus, stapes or hammer, anvil, stirrup. Okay. These three bones contribute the inner ear. Around these there is a membrane like this which covers these three inner bones. It is called as oval window. Oval window. Oval window has a small opening through which this inner ear, middle ear is connected to inner ear. The small opening, the small opening of this inner ear is called, this small opening of inner ear is called as round window. What it is called as? Round window. That is the inner ear. Around this inner middle ear, there is oval window and a round window. After that starts the inner ear. From this middle ear, there is a canal that connects to pharynx called as Eustachian canal. Eustachian canal that connects our ear with our throat. So sometime when you are taking ear drops, you have some very different smell or taste. That is because of this Eustachian canal. After that starts the inner ear, which is composed of vestibule and vestibule and vestibule means vestibular apparatus, and this is cochlea. Okay, I'll draw it clearly. Most important inner ear. Inner ear consists of vestibule, vestibular apparatus, which consists of vestibule and three semicircular canals. One canal, second canal, and third canal. This is the first canal. This is the first canal. This is the second canal. And this is the third canal. Three semicircular canals. Okay? 1, 2, 3. They are connected to vestibule. After that, after this vestibule, there is a cochlea like this. This is cochlea. From this vestibular apparatus, one nerve will originate. From cochlear apparatus, one nerve will originate. This is called as vestibular nerve, and this is called as cochlear nerve, and both will combine together to form a common nerve called auditory nerve. Auditory nerve. If you closely observe the structure of these semicircular canals, each semicircular canal has outer peripheral region which is bony, like this. This is bony portion. Till here it is bony, that is made up of bone. And this portion has membranes, that's all, membranes inside. This is called as bony labyrinth, and this portion is called as membranous labyrinth. Membranous labyrinth. Inside this membranes, there is a fluid called endolymph. Endolymph. Okay? So this outer portion is called as bony labyrinth. The inner portion is called as membranous labyrinth. That membranous labyrinth is filled with a fluid called endolymph. The main function of this endolymph is body balance. Body balance. Whenever we have any imbalance, suddenly we are going to fall, we'll shake. Immediately, inside the ear, the liquid that is present inside the semicircular canals will shake. The liquid that is present inside the semicircular canals will shake, and our body will immediately send a signal to itself through brain that our body is not in balance. Immediately our body sets itself in balance. Okay, that is the main function of vestibular apparatus. So vestibular nerve carries the information related to body balance, not hearing. The part that is involved in hearing is cochlea. Okay. If you unwind the cochlea, it is a long tube. It is a rolled, the tube that is rolled like this to form cochlea. If you see the single tube, it has three separate sections like this. This is called as tympani. This portion is called as media. This portion is called as vestibuli. So tympani, vestibuli, and media are the three portions that are present inside the cochlear tube. Among this, over this second membrane, there are small hair-like projections. Over in a limited set of cells, that cells are called as organ of Corti. Is the area where this hair-like projections are present, and those cells which have those hair-like projections are called as sensory cells. Okay. That is about the structure of the ear. This is scala tympani, this is scala media, this is vestibular. Okay. This is cross section of what do you say, tiers of cochlea, transverse section of cochlea. Okay. Among this, the membrane that separates scala tympani and scala media is vestibular membrane. Vestibular membrane. And this membrane which separates scala media and scala vestibuli is basilar membrane. Basilar membrane. Now, over this basilar membrane, there is a portion where the cells have small hair-like structures. This portion is called as organ of Corti. Among them, the cells that are having this hair-like structures are called as sensory cells. What they are called as? Sensory cells. In this scala vestibuli and scala tympani, the liquid that is present is called as perilymph. Perilymph. This is also filled with the liquid that is called as perilymph. In the inner layer, the liquid that is present is called as endolymph. Endolymph. Okay. So when these hair-like structures vibrate, then we hear the sound. So the important cells of the entire ear are the sensory cells only. Okay. Which are present in organ of Corti. Right? Any confusion, children, till here?